Are you caring for a loved one with dementia? You don't have to figure this out all on your own. Welcome to Truth, Lies, and Alzheimer's, the show that helps you reimagine a new relationship with your loved one, a relationship a little more free of stress and anxiety. Join host Lisa Skinner and her 30-plus years of experience as she guides you on a new path to a better relationship with those you care for. Here's Lisa.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Truth, Lies, and Alzheimer's Show. I'm Lisa Skinner, your host. And the first thing I want to do is shout out to everybody that this podcast, the Truth, Lies, and Alzheimer's Show, is now ranked as one of the top 10% most popular podcasts worldwide. Out of 3.3 million podcasts that are actively being aired around the world. And this shout out is to all of you, because if it wasn't for all of my loyal listeners and you joining me every week, we would not be ranked in the top 10%. So thank you to everybody, and let's keep this going. So that said, I'm going to talk about something today that we have to talk about. We've got to bring it to the surface, and because probably a lot of you who are dealing with Alzheimer's disease in your world today is also dealing with the topic of family dynamics. So today I'm going to talk about family dynamics and its impact on relationships in families dealing with Alzheimer's disease and related dementia. And over the years, I can't tell you how many families I saw divided into camps because nobody could agree on a lot of different issues when it came to their loved one. So let's talk about this. Some of these issues may apply to you, or have applied to you, or will apply to you. And if it does, I'm going to give you some recommended ideas and solutions for how you can resolve these issues that come up within your families. And as we all know, the complexities of dementia definitely extend beyond the medical concerns and profoundly influence family dynamics and relationships. So in today's episode, I'm going to explore how family dynamics interfere with these relationships in families dealing with the ongoing long process of Alzheimer's disease and dementia by examining specific examples of these conflicts and offering strategies for navigating the challenges. They pretty much happen to everybody. So, family dynamics refer to the patterns of interactions, relationships, and roles within a family unit. When a member is diagnosed with dementia, these dynamics can shift dramatically due to the emotional, physical, and psychological stresses of caregiving. Role changes is the next thing I am going to point out, because one of the most immediate impacts of dementia is the alteration of roles within the family. For instance, a spouse may transition from a partner to a caregiver, which can create feelings of resentment or inadequacy. Adult children may feel compelled to take on caregiving responsibilities, leading to conflicts over who should bear the burden of care. And let me give you an example. So a daughter may feel overwhelmed by the responsibility of caring for her mother with dementia, but her siblings stay more in the background and less involved. This disparity can lead to feelings of anger, guilt, and resentment among the siblings, straining familiar relationships. Clarifying roles can help reduce conflict by ensuring that everyone knows their responsibilities and expectations regarding caregiving. So, an action step you could take is to create a caregiving plan that outlines specific tasks for each family member, making sure to consider individual strengths and availability. You got to lay this out from the get-go. Then we have the infamous communication breakdowns. This has happened in my family actually, it was my husband's family when we were going through Alzheimer's disease with his mom, and his family was completely divided into two separate camps. They disagreed about everything. So as dementia progresses, effective communication can become increasingly difficult. Family members may struggle to understand the affected individual's needs. I'd say that was true with us, leading to misunderstandings and frustration. And here's an example of that. A father with dementia may become agitated during family gatherings, misinterpreting comments or failing to recognize family members. This can lead to the family members feeling helpless and are frustrated, further complicating their relationships. So we got to adhere to open and honest communication, right? So encourage family members to express their thoughts and feelings openly. Establishing a safe space for discussions can help reduce misunderstandings and foster collaboration with one another. And an action step in this situation might look like scheduling regular family meetings to discuss care plans, emotional needs of your loved one, and any conflicts that arise or may have arisen. Use I statements to express feelings without placing blame on anybody. Practice active listening among your family members. This involves paying close attention to what others are saying and validating their feelings and responding thoughtfully. An action step in this scenario might look like repeating back what they've heard to ensure understanding and to acknowledge each other's perspectives, even if they disagree. This did not happen in my husband's family. They just ignored what each of us were feeling and the way we saw the situation and just dug their heels into the ground. There's emotional strain involved in these dynamics. The emotional toll of dealing with dementia can lead to heightened stress levels, oh yeah, among family members, resulting in conflicts and emotional distancing. Caregivers may experience burnout, leading to irritability and withdrawal. So an example of this is a caregiver who is exhausted may snap at other family members for perceived lack of support. I can attest that this is very true, leading to arguments that can certainly fracture family relationships. Specific examples of interference happen quite regularly. So what we can do about that is promote active listening among family members, paying close attention to what the others say, and again, validate their feelings and respond thoughtfully. It's always recommended to seek mediation or professional support, kind of as a mitigator. Sometimes family dynamics can just become too complex for internal resolution. You need an objective third party. I recommend that totally. In such cases, a neutral third party can facilitate discussions and help mediate conflicts. Practice empathy. Encourage your family members to put themselves in each other's shoes. Understanding the emotional weight of caregiving can foster compassion and reduce tension, especially when you're dealing with Alzheimer's disease and related dementia. You can share experiences and feelings about caregiving and the impact it has on everyone. This can help your family members appreciate each other's struggles and perspective. Focus on the common goals. Establish a routine where family members can share their experiences and feelings without judgment. This can foster understanding and reduce feelings of isolation. Fostering empathy can also help family members appreciate each other's perspectives and emotional states. Recognizing the challenges faced by caregivers and those with dementia can and will build stronger connections. So, a strategy for this might look like encouraging your family members to practice active listening and validate each other's feelings. This can create a supportive environment where everyone feels heard. And we all need that, right? As dementia progresses, care needs definitely change. Doing regular assessments can ensure that the care provided aligns with the individual's current state and with the family dynamics. So, to accomplish this, it's recommended that you schedule periodic family check ins to reassess the caregiving plan and make adjustments as necessary. We see sibling rivalry crop up all the time. It often resurfaces when a parent is diagnosed with dementia. Disagreements can arise over care decisions, financial implications, or even the best approach to communication with the affected individual. So, an example of this is two siblings may disagree about whether to place their father in a memory care facility or provide in home care. This disagreement can lead to a rift, with each sibling feeling that their perspective is undervalued. As a matter of fact, for those of you who've read my book, Truth, Lies, and Alzheimer's, Its Secret Faces, there is a dedicated chapter to this very specific example and how the siblings were divided and how it ended up being resolved. There's guilt and shame involved in family dynamics. Family members may experience guilt over their inability to provide adequate care or concern about their own emotional responses to the situation. This guilt can manifest as passive aggressive behavior or withdrawal. So, an example of that would look like a daughter may feel guilty for wanting to take a break from caregiving duties, leading to feelings of resentment toward her siblings who are not as involved. This internal conflict can result in her lashing out when her siblings fail to recognize her struggle. Misunderstandings and assumptions about things are evident. Assumptions about the capabilities of the person with dementia can lead to these misunderstandings. Family members may underestimate the affected individual's abilities, leading to frustration and feelings of helplessness. A grandchild might assume that their grandmother cannot participate in a family game, leading to exclusion and feelings of frustration for both parties. This misunderstanding can create barriers to emotional connections. So, here are some resolutions. Identify shared goals among family members, such as the well-being of the person with dementia. That's really what it's mainly about, right? Focusing on a common purpose can unify family members and reduce conflicts. An action step for that could look like regularly revisit the shared goal of providing the best care possible for the loved one, reminding everyone of the importance of collaboration. And I don't think this can be understated or overstated, because keep in mind that some of the family members come to the meetings or come to the situation with their own hidden agendas. And if they're not disclosing what that hidden agenda really is, then you might not understand what's behind the way they're seeing the situation. Set boundaries. Establishing healthy boundaries can help family members maintain their individual needs while ensuring that everyone contributes to the caregiving. Discuss and agree on these boundaries regarding caregiving responsibilities, personal time, and how to address conflicts when they arise. In my husband's family, we weren't able to do that, even though a few of us tried. But in the other camp, they just didn't want to hear it. And unfortunately, it really never got resolved. It was a stressful situation for the 4 years that my mother-in-law lived with Alzheimer's disease. And we just ended up, unfortunately having to admit, and it was my in-laws, so I was at a disadvantage there. But we just never could come to a meeting of the minds on anything with her. Then you can try using conflict resolution techniques. You can teach each other effective conflict resolution strategies such as negotiation, compromise, and problem solving, or again, bring in an objective third party. Encourage family members. This is one way that you might be able to make this happen, is encourage your family members to brainstorm solutions together when conflicts arise, focusing on finding win-win outcomes rather than assigning blame. And you all know what brainstorming means. You just shout out what you're thinking, you write everything down, and there's no judgment to anything. And then you go back and go through each one of the points and, discuss whether or not you see this as a working solution or not. Take breaks and prioritize your own self-care. Because as we all know, caregiving is and can be exhausting. And family members definitely need time to recharge. Encouraging breaks can prevent burnout and reduce irritability. So, one of the ways to do that is to establish a schedule for respite care, allowing the caregivers to take breaks and engage in self-care activities, which can improve everybody's emotional well-being. Take turns. It's not one person's job. It's such a huge undertaking that it truly takes a village. And it goes on for years, as some of us know. Educate and inform. Providing family members with information about dementia can help them understand the condition and its effects, reducing fear and misconceptions. And a lot of what we see in these family dynamics are a result of misconceptions. We got to nail those right up front. Share resources and articles or attend seminars together to learn more about dementia care, fostering a collective understanding of the challenges involved. And then emphasize positivity. Encourage a positive outlook by celebrating small victories and showing appreciation for each family member's contributions. There's no I in team, right? Create a family gratitude journal where members can record positive experiences or express appreciation for each other's efforts. And then tailor your approaches to individual needs. Recognize that each family member may have different emotional needs and coping mechanisms. This is so crucial. And then tailoring those approaches can help address specific concerns. Have one-on-one conversations with your family members to understand their individual perspectives and tailor discussions and responsibilities accordingly. Don't look at their individual perspectives as either being right or wrong. It's their opinion, the way they're seeing things, and then have an open discussion about it. So the bottom line really is that working through family conflicts in the context of dementia definitely requires patience, empathy, and a commitment to open communication. It's not going to happen without it. And by employing these strategies, families can foster a collaborative environment that supports both the individual with dementia and everybody else involved. Ultimately, prioritizing, understanding, and cooperation can enhance relationships and contribute to a more positive caregiving experience. In addition to the conflicts that I've just shared with you, families dealing with dementia may encounter several other types of conflicts, each rooted in the unique challenges posed by this particular condition. And here are some of those additional conflicts that can arise. Financial disputes. Well, that's a big one. Dementia can lead to significant financial burdens due to medical expenses, caregiving costs, and potential loss of income for family members. Disagreements may arise over how to allocate resources or manage finances. Example, siblings may argue about whether to use a parent's savings for in-home care or to invest in a memory care facility, leading to tension over perceived fairness and financial responsibility. Then there's the caregiving, the actual caregiving approaches. This is true in my husband's family. This is exactly what happened. Different family members may have varying opinions on how to care for the individual with dementia. Conflicting caregiving philosophies, trust me, creates friction among family members, no doubt. One family member may prefer a more hands-on approach to caregiving, while another may advocate for more independence, leading to disagreements about daily routines, activities, and care strategies. Identify the decision-making authorities. Conflicts can arise, and they do, regarding who has the authority to make decisions about the care and treatment of the person with dementia. Disputes may occur when family members disagree on medical treatments, living arrangements, or legal matters. So, once you've heard that Alzheimer's or dementia diagnosis, that's one of the first things you want to do is look into all of the legal documents that are out there so you can collectively as a family decide who will be the power of attorney, who will be the medical power of attorney, filling out advance directives. And one of the most important things that you can do while your loved one is still of sound mind is identify what their end of life wishes are. A lot of families wait on that, and then it's too late, and then they have a lot of conflict with each other and within themselves of trying to do the right thing that they think their mother or their father would have wanted. It's much easier to get all that out in the open right up front. Family members may have differing levels of availability and willingness to provide care. Some don't even live in the same state as their parent, leading to feelings of resentment and frustration. A family member who works full time may feel overwhelmed by the demands of caregiving, while another sibling who is more available may feel frustrated by the perceived lack of effort from their working sibling. And keep in mind, statistically, most of the responsibility in these caregiving situations with dementia fall on the daughters, and even more oftentimes the eldest daughters. To get all those roles identified right up front. Now, we also run into cultural and generational differences, if you haven't thought of that. And the differences include different cultural backgrounds or generational perspectives on aging and caregiving. This can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts. So let me give you an example of that scenario. Younger family members might prioritize seeking professional care, while older generations may believe in the importance of familial caregiving, leading to clashes over care approaches. I have seen this time and time and time again in different cultural families. Grief and loss comes up, and it's different for everybody. Everybody processes it differently. Family members may experience anticipatory grief as they witness the decline of their loved one. The grief can manifest in anger, withdrawal, or emotional outbursts, complicating your inner circle relationships. So here's an example of that. A family member may lash out or become distant due to their struggle with grief, leading others to feel hurt or confused about the change in behavior. And one of the things that I have been saying for decades is one of the saddest aspects of watching the decline in your loved ones with their cognitive abilities. It's like you lose them twice. Once while they're still alive, but they no longer recognize you. They lose almost all of their cognitive abilities. So you're standing by helplessly watching them disappear. And then eventually they pass away. So a lot of us have to go through the grieving process of loss twice with this condition. It's very, very emotionally draining. As caregivers' responsibilities increase, family members may struggle to maintain their personal boundaries, leading to conflicts over privacy and autonomy. Where a caregiver may feel overwhelmed by the constant demands, they may react defensively when other family members intrude on their caregiving space or decisions. Then there's the stigmatization and shame that follows Alzheimer's disease and related dementia throughout the entire process. And it's true. We haven't gotten away from that yet. Family members may feel stigmatized by their loved one's dementia diagnosis, leading to avoidance and/or denial. This can definitely create tension within the family, especially if some members are more open about the condition than others. A family member may refuse to discuss their loved one's dementia publicly, while others may advocate for greater awareness and understanding, leading to conflict over how to address the situation. There's conflict over emotional support. Family members may have differing needs for emotional support, leading to feelings of neglect and/or misunderstanding. Some may require more reassurance and connection, while others may prefer to deal with their emotions privately. A sibling may feel unsupported because another family member is preoccupied with the caregiving duties, leading to feelings of isolation and resentment. And then there's the involvement in the daily care, the hands-on tasks of coping with this day in and day out. And that can create disagreements that arise regarding the level of involvement that each family member should have in the daily caregiving tasks. This can lead to feelings of resentment among those who feel overburdened. For example, if one family member consistently takes on the majority of caregiving tasks, others may feel guilty for not helping enough, and that also creates tension in family dynamics. The conflicts that arise in families dealing with dementia are multifaceted and can significantly impact relationships and overall family dynamics. So, by understanding these potential conflicts is key and crucial for navigating the challenges of the caregiving role. By fostering open communication, empathy, and collaboration, families can work towards resolving these issues, ultimately enhancing their ability to provide care, support for their loved ones, and more positive outcomes for everybody. And I know this is a lot to digest, but this is not even an all-inclusive list of the family dynamics that pop up during this whole experience. But I've given you a lot to think about and a lot to be aware of, because the chances of any one of these things or many of these things happening within your family's structure are likely to happen. So be aware of them and then consider the possible solutions and approaches to resolving these, because trust me, they're not fun to deal with. And it really goes against all of our common goals, and that's to provide the highest quality of life that we can possibly allow for any of our loved ones living with Alzheimer's disease and related dementia. None of us need any of this stuff. So I hope this has been helpful for you and given you a lot to think about. And I appreciate the time that you have spent listening to this episode today. This is Lisa Skinner, your host of the Truth, Lies, and Alzheimer's show. And keep on listening, and we'll be back next week with another episode of the Truth, Lies, and Alzheimer's show. Thanks again. Have a great rest of your week.
Thank you for listening to Truth, Lies, and Alzheimer's. We hope you found something in today's episode that helps. We understand that caring for a loved one with dementia can be the challenge of a lifetime, but you don't have to do it alone. If you're ready for exclusive access to even more great content and resources, head on over to Facebook and join Lisa's Minding Dementia Support Group. We're a community of like-minded caregivers, and we're here to help.